You felt the change before you saw it. This image confirms it. You felt it before you understood it. Before the words formed. Before the evidence appeared. Before anyone else noticed. You felt the shift. It brushed against your spirit like a quiet wind through an open window. It stirred something ancient inside you. And you paused, didn't you? You looked around and wondered, what is happening? Why does everything feel different? My beloved, this message is not random. You did not arrive here by accident. Out of all the moments in all the days, you are here now because your soul recognized something. You were guided. You were gently led. This is not coincidence. This is timing. Sacred timing. I am speaking to you because you are ready to hear what your heart has already whispered. Precious soul, you have been seen, in your silent questions, in your late-night thoughts, in the quiet ache you couldn't explain. Nothing about your journey has gone unnoticed. Every tear, every doubt, every moment of courage has been witnessed by a love greater than your fear. And this image, this feeling, this confirmation, it arrives as a soft but undeniable truth. The change you sensed is real. Stay with this message. Something has shifted, and you, my dear one, are at the center of it. You began noticing it in the quiet, not in a dramatic moment, not in a loud interruption, but in the stillness between your thoughts, in the pause between conversations, in the way your spirit hesitated before saying yes to something that once felt natural. There was a soft restlessness rising within you, a gentle discomfort that did not scream. It whispered. And because it whispered, you tried to dismiss it. My imagination, you told yourself. Just a phase. Maybe I'm overthinking. But my beloved, your soul does not overthink. It overfeels. And that feeling is sacred. You started to sense that certain environments no longer fit the same way. Rooms you used to enter easily began to feel heavy. Interactions that once energized you left you drained. Words spoken by others began to land differently, almost as if your ears had changed their sensitivity. You noticed pauses in your own responses. You noticed yourself pulling back. You noticed the subtle ache of knowing something wasn't aligned, even if you couldn't explain why. That was not confusion. That was awakening. Precious soul, when you begin to outgrow a season, your spirit alerts you long before your life rearranges. It sends signals, not to frighten you, but to prepare you. You may have felt it as a tightening in your chest when agreeing to something you no longer desired, a quiet sigh when plans were canceled, a strange sense of relief when something ended, even if you thought you should feel sadness. You may have experienced vivid dreams, old memories resurfacing, sudden clarity about people or patterns you once excused. Perhaps you began questioning habits that once felt harmless. Perhaps you caught yourself thinking, "This isn't who I am anymore," and then you brushed it aside. But it returned, because growth is persistent. You started noticing repetition, themes appearing again and again, the same lesson dressed in different clothing, the same kind of disappointment in a new form, the same inner nudge saying, "Pay attention." And still you hesitated. It is natural, my dear one. The familiar, even when uncomfortable, feels safer than the unknown. So you tried to stay steady. You tried to remain who you had always been, but your spirit would not allow it. There were moments when you felt a sudden wave of emotion that seemed larger than the situation: irritation, sadness, longing. These were not random mood shifts. They were signals that something inside you was no longer willing to tolerate what it once endured. Your standards were rising. Your boundaries were awakening. Your inner voice was growing louder. You may have even felt lonely in this awareness, as if you were changing faster than your surroundings, as if you were standing still while everything inside you was moving forward. And that feeling, that subtle separation, is often the first sign of transition. Beloved, you were not becoming distant, you were becoming discerning. There is a difference. Discernment feels like clarity, it feels like quiet knowing, it feels like watching something unfold and recognizing, without anger, without drama, this no longer belongs to me. You began craving depth where you once accepted surface. You began seeking meaning where you once accepted routine. You began desiring peace over chaos, alignment over approval. That shift did not come from nowhere. It came from your evolution. You may have ignored your intuition before. You may have silenced it for the sake of harmony, for the sake of comfort, for the sake of not disrupting what was familiar. But now it refuses to be quiet. Now when something feels wrong, you cannot pretend it feels right. When something feels complete, you cannot force it to continue. When something calls you forward, you cannot unknow the pull. This is not instability, this is expansion. You felt the change before you saw it because your inner world shifts, before your outer world rearranges. The internal earthquake happens quietly, beneath the surface, before the landscape visibly changes, and you, precious soul, are sensitive enough to feel those tremors. The unease was not meant to scare you, it was meant to awaken you. The restlessness was not a sign that something was wrong, it was a sign that something was ready, ready to move, ready to evolve, ready to release. You are not losing your footing, you are finding your truth. So when you look back at those subtle warnings, the discomfort, the clarity, the quiet voice that wouldn't fade, do not regret them. Do not criticize yourself for not acting sooner. Everything unfolded at the pace your heart could handle. Now you understand what you were feeling. Now you see why things felt different. Now you recognize that the shift did not begin today. It began the moment your soul decided it was ready for more. Hold this in your heart. Your intuition has been guiding you faithfully. It has not misled you. It has not exaggerated. It has been preparing you gently for the visible confirmation that has now arrived. You felt the change before you saw it because your spirit was already stepping into the next chapter, and you are ready. Precious soul, while you were wrestling with uncertainty, while you were wondering why the world felt heavy or why the familiar no longer resonated, the universe was quietly moving on your behalf. You could not see it yet, and that is by design. The most profound shifts do not announce themselves with noise, they work silently, with a precision that only time and sacred orchestration can achieve. There have been moments in your life when you prayed and received no immediate answer. Moments when you hoped for change and were met with delay. Moments when you trusted your heart, only to be redirected, sometimes painfully. You may have asked, why is nothing happening? Why does it feel like I am waiting forever? And now, my beloved, you can understand. All of that waiting was not emptiness, it was preparation. Every delay, every detour, every no you received was actually an invisible hand, guiding you toward the right path. What seemed like stagnation was actually alignment, pieces of your destiny quietly finding their place, setting the stage for what is about to appear in your life. You may not have seen the threads being woven, but your soul always felt the tension of what was being arranged. Sometimes, growth feels slow because it must. You cannot receive the fullness of what is coming until you are ready to hold it, to understand it, to integrate it. That is why unseen forces have been orchestrating circumstances, arranging connections, aligning energies in ways that appear invisible, but are infinitely precise. The people who are meant to walk beside you are arriving. The opportunities that belong to your path are being prepared. The signs that will confirm your steps are being placed just beyond the horizon of your awareness. Your prayers, even the ones whispered in fear or doubt, have never gone unheard. Every time you asked for clarity, every time you expressed longing in the silence of your heart, every time you said your hopes to the unseen, these were not lost words, they were seeds. Seeds planted in the soil of your destiny. Seeds that required care, time, and the proper conditions to bloom. And now, my dear one, the conditions are finally ripening. The unseen movement of destiny is not random. It does not rush. It does not conform to human impatience. But it is meticulous. Every delay, every pause, every twist you could not understand was an essential part of the unfolding. Even the moments of confusion, the mistakes, the losses, and the heartbreak, all of it was moving you, shaping you, preparing you to recognize the change when it arrived. You may have felt the weight of uncertainty pressing against your chest. You may have wondered if your longing would ever be satisfied. You may have doubted whether the shifts you sensed inside were real or imagined. But the truth is, everything you felt was already part of the unfolding. Your soul is sensitive to movements that the eye cannot yet see. That restlessness, that inner tug, that whisper that kept you awake, it was destiny brushing against your consciousness, inviting you to lean in, to listen, to trust. Even the small signs, the repeated synchronicities, the subtle confirmations, the doors that closed just in time, the people who appeared at just the right moment. These were not coincidences. They were milestones in the hidden choreography of your life. Every timing, every seeming misalignment, every delay that frustrated you was actually protection. You were being guided toward what truly belongs to you, away from what would hinder your growth, away from what would distract you from the path that has been waiting for you. All along, beloved, you have been tested, not to punish you, but to prepare you. You have been refined, not to break you, but to strengthen you. You have been stretched, not to make you stumble, but to expand your capacity to receive. There is an intelligence, a wisdom greater than any one person, that has been orchestrating these unseen movements, and it has been watching over you with infinite care, patience, and love. It is natural to wonder why the world sometimes feels still when your soul knows there is movement. But the movement of destiny is often hidden, because it cannot be rushed. Your soul has already felt it. Your mind is only beginning to catch up. The visible confirmation is always preceded by invisible preparation, and that is exactly where you are now, at the threshold where the unseen aligns with the seen, where the quiet orchestration finally becomes tangible, where the long-awaited change begins to appear. You may feel a sense of anticipation mixed with fear. That is normal. It is the tension between the old world and the new one, between what you are releasing and what you are about to receive. But my dear one, this tension is sacred. It signals that your soul is ready to step forward, to trust the alignment, to embrace the shift with open arms. Receive this truth. You are not alone in this. Every prayer, every tear, every hope, every longing has contributed to this moment, and even now, as you sense the change approaching, as your heart whispers, something is shifting, You are fully supported. You have been prepared for this, often without realizing it. Every unseen movement was a thread, pulling you into the pattern that was meant for you, weaving a life that aligns with your deepest truth. Do not underestimate the power of the hidden. The currents beneath the surface are carrying you exactly where you are meant to go. What you cannot yet see is as real as the sunlight on your face. Your journey has been directed with care, love, and perfect timing, and now, the culmination of all those unseen forces is arriving to meet your readiness. Stay with this message, precious soul. Hold it close. Let it remind you that the invisible has always been working for you. Let it quiet your impatience and calm your doubt. Let it fill you with reverence for the way your life has been guided all along. The hidden movement of destiny has been carrying you. The shift you felt before you saw it was a signal that your path was already unfolding. And now, my beloved, you are on the edge of recognition, where the unseen choreography becomes visible, where preparation meets manifestation, and where your life begins to align with the sacred pattern of your soul. You were never lost. You were only being prepared. You are ready. You are exactly where you are meant to be, and everything that is approaching is meant for you. My beloved, now you stand at the edge of something that feels larger than yourself. You may not see it fully yet. You may not hear the grand announcement or witness the fanfare of change. But your spirit knows. Your heart knows. Deep within you sense that a moment of decision is quietly unfolding, like a sunrise that does not rush but slowly illuminates everything it touches. This is a threshold moment, a sacred crossroad, where your next steps carry far more weight than you realize. It is not a crossroads of danger, nor a moment to fear. It is a crossroads of becoming, where the choice you make shapes the life that will unfold before you. You are being invited to step forward with consciousness, with courage, with trust in the voice that has whispered to you all along. You may feel the pull of comfort. You may feel the warmth of what is familiar, the ease of what you have known for years. There is safety in the known. There is reassurance in routines. There is a soothing calm in repeating what has always been. But my dear one, comfort is not always aligned with growth. The path that feels easy may cradle you, but it will not expand you. It will not honor the truth that has been awakening inside you. And yet, you may also feel the call of growth. The subtle, almost imperceptible urging that says, there is more for you. There is a version of life that mirrors your highest truth. Step forward, even if it feels uncertain. Growth is not always comfortable. It requires courage. It demands faith. It asks you to leave behind the safety nets of routine, the reassurance of predictability, the soothing illusions that you have relied upon. Growth is the unknown dressed as possibility. It is the quiet trembling before the leap. It is the tension in your chest that whispers, you are ready, even if you do not yet know how. The choice before you is not trivial. It is profound. It is a turning point. It is the moment when you decide whether to allow your soul to expand, or to remain enclosed within the familiar. Fear will naturally rise, for the unknown is always accompanied by shadow. But you must remember, fear is not a signal to retreat. Fear is a signal that something precious is at stake, that something essential to your growth and fulfillment is ready to be claimed. Delaying this choice, my beloved, will not make it disappear. The crossroads does not vanish because of hesitation. Instead, it lingers, stretching the tension inside your heart, reminding you that your spirit knows the next step even if your mind resists. Every day you wait, the weight of indecision presses heavier. Every moment of avoidance prolongs the subtle unease that has been rising for months, perhaps even years. Yet you have not been abandoned in this tension. You have been guided here carefully. All the quiet nudges, the repeated synchronicities, the inner whispers of intuition, they were preparing you to recognize this very moment. They have been building your courage without you even realizing it, reinforcing your readiness to choose growth over comfort, faith over fear, courage over hesitation. This choice is not a test designed to punish you. It is not a judgment on your worthiness. It is a sacred invitation, a call to claim the life that has been quietly awaiting your readiness. Every previous experience, every season of waiting, every trial and triumph, has positioned you for this. Your intuition has been gently leading you, and now the evidence arrives, confirming what your heart already knew. The change is here, and it is calling you to act. You may worry that stepping forward will bring loss, that leaving what is familiar will create emptiness, that choosing growth will fracture the world you have built. But my dear one, this is the paradox of transformation. In order to receive more, you must release. In order to expand, you must let go of the old structures that no longer serve you. Our highest good. In order to step into the life you were meant to live, you must allow the threshold to guide you rather than resist it. The tension in your chest, the hesitation in your mind, the whisper in your heart, these are all signs that you are on the right path. They are the echoes of destiny brushing against you, asking for acknowledgement, asking for faith, asking for action. You have felt the change before you saw it, and now that change is asking you to choose consciously. Will you remain where it is comfortable, or will you step forward into the growth your soul is calling for? Remember, choosing growth does not mean abandoning safety. Choosing faith does not mean stepping blindly into chaos. It means aligning with the deeper currents that have been guiding you, trusting in the unseen forces that have been preparing you, and allowing your inner knowing to lead the way. It means listening to that quiet voice that says, "You are ready, you are capable, you are worthy of this transformation." This is the turning point where your courage meets your destiny, where your willingness to trust yourself converges with the alignment that has been orchestrating your life all along. The choice you make here will ripple through your future in ways you cannot yet see. It will define the clarity of your purpose, the depth of your fulfillment, and the freedom of your soul. So take a breath, precious one. Feel the weight of this moment. Honor the hesitation. Honor the fear. And then, with gentle certainty, choose the path that calls to the fullness of who you are becoming. Step forward not recklessly, but with conscious intention. Step forward, not because you must, but because your spirit has been preparing for this moment, every step of the way. The turning point is here. The choice is yours. The opportunity to move from comfort to expansion, from fear to faith, from hesitation to action. It is standing before you now. Do not ignore this. Your soul knows the way. Your heart has already felt it, and the world, though it may appear unchanged, is ready to meet the version of you that embraces the path of growth, courage, and divine alignment. You are at the threshold, my beloved. Step forward. Step into your becoming. Step into what is meant for you, and trust that the path before you, though not yet fully revealed, is exactly where you are meant to go. Precious soul, in order for the new to enter, something within you must first let go. It is a truth as gentle as it is necessary. Nothing truly new can grow in a space that is already full, and for too long perhaps, you have carried the weight of what no longer serves you, habits, beliefs, relationships, and patterns that were once comforting but now constrict your spirit. Letting go does not mean failure. It does not mean that you have lost your way, or that you have done anything wrong. On the contrary, it is a sacred act of courage and love for yourself. It is the acknowledgement that your soul has grown, that you have evolved, and that the world around you must shift to reflect who you have become. The old may cling, the familiar may whisper, "Stay, don't move, don't change," and yet, you feel the subtle pull of something greater, a quiet urging from deep inside that insists, it is time to release. You may be holding on to old relationships, precious one, out of loyalty, fear, or habit. Those who brought comfort, understanding, or companionship may no longer align with the life you are being called to. It is natural to grieve these shifts. It is natural to feel a pang of guilt, of loss, even of uncertainty. But the truth is, their presence in your life has fulfilled its purpose. And now, just as the seasons change, so too must your connections. Releasing does not mean erasing love or forgetting lessons. It means honoring the role they played, bowing gracefully, and opening space for relationships that reflect your current and future self. You may be holding on to old habits, ways of thinking, reacting, or living that once served you but now limit you. Perhaps it is the habit of doubt, of seeking validation from outside, of settling for less than your soul knows it deserves. Perhaps it is the repetition of patterns that keep you small, or the routines that have dulled your awareness. These are not failures, my beloved, they are echoes of your past self, the version of you that did the best it could with what it knew. But now, your heart whispers of expansion. And to answer that call, the old ways must be released, quietly, gently, without judgment. You may be holding on to identities, roles, labels, definitions, that no longer reflect the truth of who you are. Perhaps you have identified as someone limited by circumstance, by fear, or by doubt. Perhaps you have defined yourself by what you were told you could or could not be. The truth is, these identities were never the whole story. They were only stepping stones, lessons to teach you strength, resilience, and self-awareness. And now, my dear one, your soul is calling you to step beyond those definitions, to embrace a fuller, freer version of yourself, to allow the light of your true essence to shine into spaces where shadow once lingered. This shedding of the old may feel uncomfortable. It may feel like a quiet ache, like a subtle emptiness. But that emptiness is not absence, it is space. Sacred space. Space to receive the blessings, opportunities, and alignments that are waiting for you. Space for freedom. Space for peace. Space for joy. Space for a life that mirrors your soul's deepest truth. Think of it as a clearing in the forest. You cannot plant new seeds where the ground is crowded with fallen branches, overgrowth, and decay. You must first clear the land, remove the debris, and prepare the soil. Only then can the sun reach the earth. Only then can new life sprout. Only then can growth occur in its fullness. The same is true within you. Releasing the old clears your inner landscape, allowing clarity, creativity, and abundance to flow where they could not before. Letting go is also a form of trust. Trust in yourself. Trust in the unseen guidance that has been orchestrating your life. Trust in the timing that has brought you here. You may not see all the pieces, but the pieces are already moving into alignment, By releasing what no longer serves you, you are creating a sacred container for destiny to enter, for opportunity to emerge, for transformation to take root. Remember, precious one, that what you release is never truly lost. Every experience, every lesson, every relationship, every role that shaped you, remains a part of your soul's tapestry. Nothing is wasted. All of it contributes to the strength, wisdom, and resilience you carry forward. Releasing is not erasure. It is elevation. It is making room for a higher expression of yourself. You may wonder how to release. There is no one way, for the process is as unique as your soul. Some releases come through quiet reflection, through meditation, through journaling or prayer. Some come through intentional choices, conscious steps that honor your growth. Some come through detachment, letting the universe carry away what no longer belongs, trusting that it is being transformed for the highest good. The method matters less than the willingness to surrender, to let go, and to create space for the new. Your inner wisdom, that quiet, steady voice you have always sensed, will guide you. It knows what must remain and what must go. It knows the precise areas of your life that are ready to evolve. Listen to it, honor it, follow it. And as you do, you will feel the relief, the lightness, and the expansion that comes from uncluttering your inner world. Precious soul, the shedding of the old is not a punishment. It is a blessing, it is preparation, it is a sacred act of courage and love. It signals that you are ready for something greater, that you are prepared to receive the alignment, the opportunities, the peace, and the joy that your soul has been waiting for. So breathe, my beloved. Feel the weight of what you carry, acknowledge it, and then, with gentle determination, release it. Allow it to drift away. Make space, open your heart, expand your mind. Prepare your life for the arrival of what is meant for you. The old is leaving, the new is waiting, and you, my dear one, are ready to embrace it all. You are not losing. You are becoming. You are not shrinking. You are rising. And the space you create, within yourself, will be filled with the extraordinary life your soul has always known is possible. Precious soul, hear me now, you are never alone. Not for a single heartbeat, not for a single moment of uncertainty, not for a single step along this sacred path. Even when the world around you seems quiet, when the familiar guidance of others feels absent, when you feel the weight of responsibility or the pressure of change, there is a presence that has always walked beside you. There is a protection, a love, and a guidance that moves through the unseen currents of your life, working quietly yet powerfully in ways you cannot always perceive. You have felt it before, in the form of intuition, of inner knowing, of that subtle whisper that nudges you toward a decision, or cautions you away from what does not belong. Perhaps at times you questioned it, dismissed it, or even feared it, labeling it as imagination or coincidence. But that voice, my beloved, is sacred. It is the language of your higher self, of your soul, of the divine intelligence that flows through all things. It is the gentle assurance that you are being guided, even when the path ahead is not fully clear. Every step you have taken, every prayer you have whispered, every hope and longing you have carried in silence, has been seen. Every tear that fell when you were afraid, every quiet sigh in moments of exhaustion, every thought that doubted whether you were moving in the right direction, all of it has been received, held, and honored. You have been supported in ways that you cannot always measure, in ways that may only reveal themselves over time. This is the nature of divine guidance. It does not always appear as a grand miracle. Often, it is quiet, patient and persistent. When fear rises, as it inevitably will, it is only natural. Fear is a shadow that accompanies growth. It is the tension between what you know you are ready for, and the unfamiliar world that awaits you. It is not a signal that you are unsafe. It is a signal that something important is happening, something that matters deeply to your soul. And even in the presence of fear you are protected. Even in moments of uncertainty you are held. Even when the path ahead seems unclear, the unseen forces guiding you are vigilant, ensuring that you move forward safely step by step. You have likely experienced small miracles that went unnoticed. Moments when things just worked out against the odds. Encounters with people who provided exactly what you needed at the right time. Opportunities that appeared almost magically, perfectly aligned with your needs or desires. Doors that closed in frustration, only to redirect you towards something better. These are not random, they are the fingerprints of the divine moving through your life, arranging circumstances, protecting your spirit, and guiding you toward what is truly meant for you. There is a rhythm to this guidance, a subtle choreography that requires your patience, trust, and attention. The signs are always there, sometimes in the form of synchronicities, sometimes as quiet nudges, sometimes as an inner knowing that cannot be explained by logic alone. Pay attention, precious one. Notice the moments when your heart stirs inexplicably. Notice the feelings of certainty that arise in the midst of doubt. Notice the gentle yet persistent pull toward what feels aligned, even if the reasoning is not immediately clear. These are your markers, these are your signals, these are the ways the universe speaks to you in your own language, in ways that your spirit recognizes intuitively. You may have wondered, what if I misstep? What if I move in the wrong direction? My dear one, trust that even missteps are never wasted. They are lessons, adjustments, and refinements along the journey. Guidance does not always remove obstacles entirely, but it equips you to navigate them with grace. You are not left to stumble blindly. You are given tools, insight, and wisdom at exactly the right time. Sometimes this guidance arrives as clarity in the mind. Sometimes it arrives as reassurance in the heart. Sometimes it arrives as an unexpected solution or a new opportunity, appearing just when you need it. Always it is designed to help you move forward in alignment with your highest good. Your intuition is a sacred compass. It is the most direct connection you have to the wisdom that surrounds and sustains you. Trust it, honor it, listen to it. Even when the world seems chaotic, or your mind is filled with doubt, that quiet inner voice will never lead you astray. It has been trained by your experiences, refined by your growth, and attuned to the movements of destiny that are unfolding around you. When you feel that inner nudge, that gentle urging, respond to it. When you feel clarity that rises above the noise of uncertainty, hold it as a gift. When you sense alignment, allow yourself to follow it, even if the path ahead is unfamiliar. There are moments when reassurance will appear in the world around you, a kind word at the perfect time, a symbol that catches your eye repeatedly, a feeling of warmth or light that fills you unexpectedly. These are not coincidences, they are confirmations, small miracles meant to remind you that you are protected, that you are guided, that you are not walking this path alone. Your life is surrounded by unseen forces. Every element of your journey is watched over with love, care, and precision. You are capable, precious soul. You are resilient, and you are supported. You are guided not only toward what is safe, but toward what is true, beautiful, and aligned with your highest purpose. You have been prepared for this. You have been strengthened for this. You have been nurtured, guided, and protected for the moments that lie ahead. So when doubt creeps in, when fear whispers that you are alone, when the unknown looms large, remember this: you are cradled by a force greater than any obstacle. You are being guided every step of the way. Your intuition is active, alive, and trustworthy. Signs, synchronicities, and confirmations will continue to appear, lighting your path and reinforcing your courage. Stay with this message, precious one. Receive it. Hold it in your heart. Let it remind you that no matter what appears in the outer world, the inner world is always watched over, always supported, always aligned with the love and protection that has never left you. You are never alone. You are never without guidance. You are never unprotected. And you, my dear one, are always exactly where you are meant to be. You are stronger than you remember. Look at what you have survived. Look at how you kept going, even when you were exhausted. Look at the way you chose growth over bitterness, learning over resentment. You have evolved. The change you sensed is not just external, it is internal. You are becoming more confident in your discernment, more selective with your energy, more aware of your value. You are no longer begging to be chosen. You are choosing yourself. Precious soul, this is maturity. This is awakening. This is identity unfolding. You were never meant to remain the same. You were designed to expand, to deepen, to rise. The world may not yet see the full transformation happening within you, but you feel it. And that feeling is enough. You are stepping into a season where you no longer doubt your worth, where you speak with steadiness, where you walk with quiet authority, not loud, not arrogant, but certain. This is who you are becoming, and it is beautiful. So breathe, my beloved. The change you felt before you saw it is real. The confirmation you received is true. You are not imagining your growth. You are living it. Do not shrink back now. Move forward gently, but move forward. Trust the shift. Trust your intuition. Trust the timing that brought you here in this exact moment. Stay with this message. Return to it when doubt tries to cloud your clarity. Let it remind you that you are guided, protected, and deeply known. You are stepping into alignment. May your heart remain open. May your courage rise when you need it. May peace settle into your spirit as you walk this new path. You are chosen for growth. You are chosen for expansion. You are chosen for this moment, and you felt it before you saw it because your soul is awake. Carry that knowing with you, and go forward,